Bookworm family, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Danny. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell because I'm currently posting all these cool reading challenges and I want you guys to be a part of them. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please be sure to do that. It is at @the_dancing_bookworm. I post on there full review and content. So guys, I'm kind of blinded by my own lighting right now. My upper light died, which is going to be a problem because I start teaching online classes tomorrow and I have to do that in my room. So I'm going to have to figure out some lighting situation here. But I have like a little side light here and a side light over there and it is shining in my eyeball. So it is a rough, man. Anyway, so today we are talking about section 1 of Junie B. Jones. So you guys were supposed to read up to, I believe, page 25, right? So that should been the first 3 chapters of the book. If you guys didn't read that yet, you guys can go ahead, pause this video, go read it now, have a parent help you out if you need some help, or you guys can do it at your own pace. That's fine too. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then go ahead and click the link down below or the link that I'm going to post right up here. It'll give you all the information of the reading club that we are doing. And if you are in kindergarten through 2nd grade, your book of this reading challenge, I don't know if there'll be more, but definitely for right now, your book of this reading challenge is to read Junie B. Jones, First Grader at Last by Barbara Park. My hair is super crazy too, guys. Oh my goodness, I am just a hot mess tonight. But today's been kind of a tough day. I've had a lot going on and, you know, just a tiring day. So it's pretty late at night when I'm doing this. So if I kind of talk fast or if this isn't the super longest video that I've ever posted, I'm sorry in advance. I will try to make next week's better. But since this is only the first part of our book, we still have a lot more to go and I'm not worried about missing out on anything. So we're going to jump into what the first 3 chapters were about. So in the first 3 chapters, Junie B. Jones tells us that she does not like 1st grade. Not her thing. She has a teacher named Mr. Scary who's not actually scary at all. Her teacher makes her write in this dumb journal that she doesn't like to write in, and none of her friends want to be her friends anymore. She's super unhappy, and all she wants to do is be able to be, like, friends with everyone and get to be on the playground and not have to do any work because she is struggling with some stuff in school. So, first thing I want to talk about is our word of the week. This week's word of the week is slumped. So it means to sit or lean limply with a bent back. So if I'm sitting up like this, I'm not slumping. But if I'm sitting down like this, I'm slumping, okay? And it says, Eliza slumped sadly in her seat when the teacher told her her answer was incorrect. So, you know, you're raising your hand, you think you know the answer, you tell the teacher the answer, and she's like, no, I'm sorry, that's not right. And you're like, ugh. Right? That's slumping. And my question for you guys is, do you usually sit upright or do you slump in your seat? I'm a slumper. I like to lean. I like to lounge. I don't like to sit upright. It's not comfortable. And it's funny because I'm a dance teacher. We're supposed to tell people to sit upright and sit tall and be strong. And I don't. I slump very much. I'm always slumped over like this. So let's jump into our section 1 questions, which I just realized is still labeled pre-reading. Come on, Miss Danny, let's fix that. Alright, so section 1 questions. So we're going to look at Junie B. Jones's first journal entry. You guys know that I don't have the book. I'm doing it on e-reader, so I don't have the book to show you guys. But if you look on the very first page of the very first chapter, it is a journal entry, and she says, "What does Mr. Scary look like?" So, Junie B. Jones describes Mr. Scary as having muscles and a mustache. Question 2. Who does Junie B. Jones sit next to in school, and does she like her? The answer to that is May, right? And May is kind of kiss up. Like, she kind of, like, wants the teacher to always pick on her and think she's the greatest and stuff. And Junie B. Jones does not like that. Junie B. Jones is like, why can't you just cause a little trouble and a little mischief like me? And then all would be fine. And anything Junie B. Jones does, May is like, Mr. Scary, Judy B. Jones did, and that's really annoying sometimes. So there's a good time to tattle and a bad time to tattle. And in a good time to tattle, I don't even like to call it tattling. I like to just call it, talking to the teacher about a problem, right? So let's say somebody's poking you in class over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and you've asked them to stop 3 or 4 times and they won't. That's not okay. So in that case, I would say it's okay to go tell a teacher. But what May does is May does it for everything. She's like, Mr. Scary, Judy B. Jones is smelly. Mr. Scary, Judy B. Jones is doing this. Mr. Scary. And it's not always nice. Sometimes if a teacher is, or if somebody else is bothering you, instead of telling a teacher, just ask them first. So May's kind of annoying because she's always telling the teacher on Judy B. Jones, right? Question 3 is, how does Junie B. Jones feel on her first day of school? So if we think about it, she talks about how she ran right away from her father because she was a wreck. She was a nervous wreck. So if you guessed from our pre-reading questions that you thought Junie B. Jones was going to be nervous, you are correct. So question 4 is, why won't Lucille sit with Junie B. Jones on the first day? So if you remember, Junie B. Jones loves Lucille. She was her best friend in kindergarten. She goes running up to her. She gives her a big hug, and Lucille's like, oh, you're wrinkling my dress, Junie B. Jones. And she's really mean to her. And she finds out that, Junie B. Jones finds out that Lucille made friends with the twins, Camille and Chenille. And Junie B. Jones is like, oh, cool, twins. Like, let's go be friends with them. And Lucille's like, you don't get to be friends with us. So that wasn't very nice. So far we have May, who's kind of mean, and Lucille, who's kind of mean. That's not okay. So Junie B. Jones is kind of looking for a friend that's not really mean, right? And then in question 5, it says, who ends up sitting with Junie B. Jones on the bus when Grace won't? So the answer to that is Herb. So Grace is still nice to Junie B. Jones, right? She's not being mean to her. She just promised that she would sit with, I think it's Bobby Jean, Bobby Joe, something like that. I forgot her name, but, Billie Jean Piper wears a dirty diaper. Is that what it is? Is that what she says? I'm trying to think of the name. But anyway, so she promises that she'll sit with her, and Grace isn't being mean. Bobby Jean, Billie Jean, whatever her name is, she's being mean. But Grace isn't being mean. She just promised she would sit with somebody else. So Junie B. Jones gets really mad about that, and she's kind of mean back to Grace. But instead, Herb comes over and sits with her, and Herb says that he's the new kid, so nobody ever wants to sit with him on the bus. So Junie B. Jones and Herb are sitting in their chair all slumped like this, and that's the picture, right, where they're all slumped over. And so they kind of end up becoming friends because they didn't have anyone to sit with on the bus. Then it says, why didn't Junie B. Jones recognize Lenny? So Lenny got a really cool new haircut with gel that he spikes up like a mohawk. So something like this. Miss Danny's hair is short enough to do it, but something like that where it spikes up, right? And she doesn't recognize him because his haircut is so cool and so new. It makes him look like a different person. Number 7 says, what does Jose know how to do? So Jose knows how to speak 2 different languages. So he speaks English and he speaks Spanish. So he goes running up to them and he's like, hola, hola, hola. And Junie B. Jones like, what that? And he's like, oh, that's hello in Spanish. And everybody's like, you speak 2 languages? And then May, that stinking May, is like, I can count to 3 in Spanish. Sometimes it's okay to let other people be able to do cool things and you don't have to show off, right? So May wasn't being very nice there because she was trying to show off, and that's not very cool. I just realized everything is super reflective on my glasses. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to take them off because then I can't read what I wrote. But then number 8 was to write a journal entry. So I just wrote kind of a silly journal entry, kind of like how Junie B. Jones would write, just a short one. But if you guys wrote a journal entry that you're super proud of and you want to send it to me, go ahead. You can leave it in the comments down below. Message me on any of my social media. But you guys can go ahead and do that whenever you want. But this is mine. The question was, write in a journal entry about writing in journals. It can be funny or serious. Do you love or hate writing in journals? So I kind of wrote mine like how Junie B. Jones would write it if she liked writing in journals. So I said, Dear Journal, I love writing in journals. Journals are the absolute greatest of all time because I can tell you anything and you have to listen. I think journals are quite a fun thing to write in and I hope everyone else likes writing in them too. So that was just kind of my little journal entry inspired by how Junie B. Jones talks. But if you guys wrote a really cool one, I want to hear what you guys wrote. So go ahead and message me that, okay? So then we're just going to talk about how when May tells Junie B. Jones to be quiet in class, Junie B. Jones gets mad. Do you think she was right in that situation? Do you think May could have asked Junie B. Jones nicer, or do you think Junie B. Jones could have responded nicer? So I think both people were wrong in this situation, right? May didn't say, hey, Junie, can you please be quiet? I'm really trying to focus on what I'm doing. Instead, she goes, I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing, and you're distracting me, blah, 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 blah. And they were really, really fighting. And then Junie B. Jones goes, well, you think you're all that, May, and my name is Junie B. Jones, B, 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 right? Because she just calls her Junie Jones, and that's really annoying to Junie B. Jones. But she, so it says, do you think May could have asked Junie B. Jones nicer? Absolutely. But do you think Junie B. Jones could have responded nicer too? Absolutely. I think 100%. There's always a nicer way to say something than yelling at somebody. So next time you're in class and somebody's doing something that's kind of annoying to you, I want you guys to think, like, do you want to sound like May and Junie B. Jones, or do you want to sound more like somebody who kind of is asking nicely? So maybe May could have been like, hey, Junie B. Jones, can you please be quiet? I'm really trying to focus on my work. And Junie B. Jones could have been like, oh, sorry, May. I just really like talking out loud to myself or something. Or maybe if they're really not working by sitting next to each other, one of them should ask Mr. Scary to move them, right? Because they're really not getting along next to each other. So that is all for our section 1. What was your guys' favorite part, I'm wondering? Because I think my favorite part of section 1 is probably... I really like when she's on the bus and she's sitting there all slumped with Herb and she's got her grumpy face on and stuff like that. And I think some of the way she talks, or dialogue as we call it in writing, some of the things Junie B. Jones says is really, really funny. So I really have always loved that about Junie B. Jones, and I hope you guys are enjoying that about the book. Remember, parents, if you're reading it out loud, to really, really embrace that Junie B. Jones sarcasm, because sometimes when we're reading it to ourselves, we can't really hear it, but she is really funny. So if you have somebody else reading it to you, make sure they're really being extra funny for you, okay? So next time we're going to read up to page 50, I believe. Yep, so we're going to read up to page 50, and we're going to do a section 2 questions. So I'm just going to read you what those questions are really quick. And then we will meet back here next time, which will be on, I believe, April 1st. April Fool's Day? Yeah, April Fool's Day. I hate April Fool's Day. I don't like pranks or practical jokes, but it can be fun, I guess, sometimes. But our section 2 questions, so here they are. Question 1. What were at least 2 words on the board the kids drew? 2. What did Junie B. Jones draw a picture of? 3. What did Junie B. Jones think the word clock said? So she thinks that she reads it as something else. She doesn't read it as clock. She reads it as something else. What does she read it as? Number 4, where was Junie B. Jones when Mr. Scary called her in to read sentences? So Junie B. Jones was doing something fun. Where was she? And then Mr. Scary was like, oh, you gotta come do extra work. And she was not happy about that. So where was she? Question 5, who is Mrs. Weller? Question 6, why do you think Junie B. Jones has trouble reading? What do you think will fix it? So that's your own opinion. It doesn't tell us quite yet, right? What's wrong with Junie B. Jones that she has trouble reading? So what do you guys think, and what do you think will help fix it? Question 7. Have you ever used an eye chart before? So I'm not going to tell you guys what an eye chart is. I want you guys to figure it out in the book. But have you ever used one before is my question. And number 8, we're going to write another journal entry for your activity this time. I want you to write a journal entry about a time you had to go to the school nurse. What happened? Were you sick? Hurt? How did the nurse make you feel better? So a time that you really, really weren't feeling well, or something happened to you at school, or you got hurt and you had to go to the school nurse. So those are the things that you guys are going to do for next time. Please click the Google Docs link down below so you guys can have the questions right in front of you and see all the discussion stuff. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you guys are really enjoying Junie B. Jones as much as I am. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Wasn't that a great video? Clearly books make me very happy. Now you can make me happy too. Click the subscribe button to follow my channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you think I did good. And the notification bell will let you know when I post new content. Also, follow my Instagram for more book shenanigans.